Is Terry been cooking again? Hey, as a matter of fact, I did. I cooked last night.
There's a guy in the gazebo.
Huh?
There's a guy in the gazebo.
What's wrong with that? Maybe on the other side.
Yeah, I think there's a stop point over there.
We're hearing again from Stay Tuned, the Barbershop Quartet, just a couple of minutes, but please welcome.
Look at all these kids out here. Are they like troopers or what? Yeah. Bring them up right.
You guys ready on that? I feel like you're breaking hard for them. Yeah, we feel the same way you do, but hey, it's show business. You'll learn. Okay, guys.
You can dance around a little bit, get yourself warm.
The line's going, come on.
My girl, you can burn my clothes when I'm gone. Or you can tell your friends what a fool. Take a ride with Bobby Shea. Said I was moving way too slow. Like a pedal petrol. You don't get no go. Don't do it for me now. We don't drive on the freeway. All the love that you can. We don't drive on the freeway. All the love we can let. This is the deep
staking a claim in Texas, working hard in the oil business, providing for his young family. 4 years ago, after a long and distinguished career serving our nation, he took charge as America's commander-in-chief. When Iraq invaded Kuwait, President Bush said this act of terrorism would not stand. Who wants to stop regulations like CAFE? Who wants to cut government jobs? Who wants to the people of Wixom and Michigan?
the job right here. Well, it's great to wake up in this great state of Michigan. And you know, this isn't just any campaign stop, it's Oakland County. When we carry Oakland County, we are going to carry the great state of Michigan. And I hope that my carrot right for America, and my opponent will tell America so many different things because he wants to do what's right to win an election. Let me give you just one example of what I mean. I believe that you can face to play and enjoy nature. Now, Governor Clinton's environmental policies in Arkansas can be described in only one word: abysmal. According to the Green Index, Arkansas ranked dead last in the nation in policies to protect the environment. Dead last. That is not good enough for America. I don't want to suggest that the Arkansas rivers are polluted, but you know, Governor Clinton sometimes thinks he can walk on water. Living around the Arkansas River, he can walk on water. The big labor boss has found environmental record, but I will not go to the Clinton-Gore extremers. And I'm talking about his tax and spend policy. Governor Clinton wants to do. Let's say you got a good job at the Lincoln plant. Say you get $38,000 a year in taxable income. Governor Clinton would have you give another $1,700 to the tax man, and I say you could better use that money for your kids' education or paying the mortgage on it. And force the Congress to cut spending. If we do that, the Congress will have to listen to the people, and it's a good idea, and the Democrats hate it.
We like it.
If the Congress won't, Bill Clinton is wrong to be president of the United States of America. And I offer a responsible government, a government that understands the real strength of America is right here. Right here. It's not all in D.C. It's right here in Wixom, Michigan. That's where the power is. Give the power back to the people. You know, the entire world has been in a bleed, but not if we take the risk of adopting the failed strategies that are being rejected in Europe. Not if we take the risk by going back to the failed policies of big government. Governor Clinton can only get elected by tearing down America. He talks about America being less than Germany and a little more than Sri Lanka. Open your eyes, Governor Clinton. We are the most respected nation on the face of the earth. And as we stood for freedom abroad, we stand for freedom at home. Freedom from big government, freedom from the arrogance of the bureaucrat, freedom from the bosses who tell everybody what to do, freedom from the long arm of the tax man. And today, I know the people of Wixom are marking this visit by signing the names on a wall to renew our nation, to make it a better place for the young people here today, to strengthen the American family in every way we possibly can, to make it a safer and more secure America for us and for all those who will come after. We are blessed with the greatest, freest, most wonderful country on the face of the earth. Help me move it forward. Give me 4 more years, and let's change America.
Greetings, Mr. President and Mr. Bush. Congratulations to you
Mr. President, the city of Wixom is very pleased and quite proud to be a part of your Spirit of America tour. We are truly inspired to know that you have acknowledged our city, our citizens, and our problems, and that you are sincerely concerned about our... Thank you to the band. Fantastic music. Really good. We're out of here. All aboard.
Don't worry about it. In the morning crew. Yeah. You're 98.7. We're right here. She knows where we are now.
Stop campaign tour, President Bush is keeping up the attack on Bill Clinton's tax plans. In Michigan this morning, Bush told supporters that America may have economic problems, but other countries are in worse shape. As he did in Ohio yesterday, Bush insists Clinton's economic plans would punish the middle class. Bush is trying to reverse Clinton's lead in 2 key states. And meanwhile, Clinton took a few hours off.
Years after China. He says Clinton promises a new program every time he speaks and would have to raise taxes to pay for all of his promises.
Today, amid a new element of uncertainty, will Ross Perot re-enter the race? The answer could come as soon as tomorrow. In the meantime, the Bush train tour traveled through Michigan with the president trying to blow the whistle on Bill Clinton. Mr. Bush says the Clinton economic plan is bad news for the middle class. Bill Clinton has left.
Mr. Bush spent the second day of a Truman-inspired whistle-stop campaign tour in Michigan. At one campaign stop, he claimed Clinton's plan to raise car fuel standards would put auto workers out of work. He also accused Clinton of focusing on the nation's economic problems, adding that other countries are in worse shape.
We must have a United States that will take the lead, but not if we take the risk of adopting the failed strategies that are being rejected in Europe. Not if we take the risk by going back to the failed policies of big government, and not if we take the risk of socking it to the middle class with higher taxes.
President Bush is scheduled to return to the White House tonight. Meanwhile, Democratic presidential candidate Clinton...
Our top story tonight, President Bush rolls through the state aboard the Spirit of America. He and the First Lady wrapping up a 2-day whistle-stop train tour through Ohio and Michigan, delivering his message to small-town America with hopes of reversing Bill Clinton's lead in the polls. Our coverage of the president's visit begins now with Channel 7's Bill Proctor, who followed the president through a couple of those small towns, Bill, and something reminiscent of the old days. Huh?
No doubt. Certainly an historic visit for the entire state. All the people are very excited about this. What you're about to see are some pictures out of the history books. The memory of Harry Truman, 1948, standing on the platform of the campaign train, giving the message that would bring him from behind to win the presidency. Well, that's what George Bush has to accomplish. And his 5-hour train ride, beginning in Livonia today and ending in Grand Blanc, well, that's exactly what he hopes to do. It was a balloon-filled banner day on each stop of the trip as several thousand enthusiastic supporters stood to cheer the President and Mrs. Bush as he hammered home the key themes of the campaign.
We are blessed with the greatest, freest, most wonderful country on the face of the earth. Help me move it forward. Give me 4 more years, and let's change America for the best.
I'm here to see Bush and see what he's got to say today and try and help me make my decisions on what I'm going to do.
I'm Bush all the way. I have a feeling Clinton would really hurt the economy and increase taxes. That's the only way we can afford to pay for his plans.
You're following the husband's lead?
I'm not sure yet. I'm undecided.
What was immediately obvious here at the president's first stop in Wixom was the sizable contingent of Clinton-Gore supporters.
Why here? Well, I wanted to see the president because it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but I really am for Clinton and Gore.
But as the train pulled into Holly, the opposition disappeared as the even larger crowd was all behind the president.
My mind was already made up. We're voting for Bush. But it is important to hear what he has to say. Sure it is.
All along the route today, they stood, waving, hoping for a glimpse of the president. He, leaning off the back of the train, waving occasionally, saying hello when he could. This was good for the Michigan campaign.
Well, George Bush's strength is his personal charm and his ability to get in contact with the voter. And you don't see a lot of that if it's just 30-second sound bites. You get the contact in different areas than you normally see him. He's not in a major population center. He's coming right through the heartland today. And this is the kind of people and the voters that we want to get and make sure that they come out and vote in November.
Everyone close to him saying the president having a great deal of fun today. Just one major statement, though, as he spoke to supporters today. The president saying his representatives have been sent to talk with Ross Perot, hoping to get him to send his diehard fans over to the needy arms of the Republican Party.
Bill, do you think here in Michigan that he's picking up some undecideds? I mean, that looked like support that was already...
Jennifer?
And while the president was busy campaigning...
They're waiting to hear exactly what he had to say, seeing what kind of a presentation he makes and seeing what kind of argument he's making to stay for 4 more years. Yes, he could be swaying some people to vote Republican again.
Okay. Thanks, Bill.
We have to wait on that one, of course, but as President Bush leaves Michigan today, he remains behind in the polls, but that doesn't have the Bush camp worried at this point. President Bush reached out to local voters during his 2-day whistle-stop train tour. Channel 7's Robbie Timmons has more on what the president needs to do to win the election.
As President Bush travels through the crossroads of Michigan, he also realizes he is at the crossroads of his presidential campaign. His plan of action to help people and the economy is to hold taxes, cut spending, and give power to the people. There are still many undecided voters, however, that he must reach and convince to vote for him.
President, what's the key to convincing the undecided?
Just the truth will do it.
Thank you, sir.
We're going to make it. I really feel confident.
Mrs. Bush added her comments about the undecided votes.
Who do you trust? Who's got the best ideas?
Vote for Clinton, and I don't think they're getting the full picture.
After President Bush leaves Michigan following his whistle-stop tour, the people of Michigan will think about his message. What they believe and who they trust will be reflected in the voting booth. In Grand Blanc, I'm Robbie Timmons, Channel 7 Action News reporting.
Okay, let's talk about education now. The waiting is definitely over.
Good evening, I'm Connie Chung. Tomorrow, an extraordinary meeting will be held in Dallas. Top aides to President Bush and Bill Clinton are meeting with supporters of Ross Perot to defend their economic proposals and convince Perot he should not get back in the presidential race. No one knows who would be hurt most by Perot candidacy, but in an exclusive interview with CBS News today, President Bush appeared confident. Randall Pinkston reports.
Hey, thanks for the welcome. Riding on his campaign train for the second day through the heart of Michigan auto country, President Bush was greeted by well-organized crowds, but also saw signs that his opponent is making inroads into what was once Republican territory. In an exclusive interview with CBS News, Mr. Bush was upbeat.
Even the people that aren't for you can tell from an unfriendly sign. They're not in an unfriendly mood. And it's been a wonderful feeling of the heartbeat of the country.
And the president believes this tour through blue-collar territory has helped him.
Do you feel you've recovered into the ground that some of the polls say you've lost here in Michigan?
Well, I don't know. I think in the last couple of days it's been very good. And I don't know on all these polls, but I just feel confident we're going to win the election.
Mr. Bush was clearly annoyed that the questions over his role in the Iran-Contra affair continue to plague him this late in the campaign.
I have told the truth. I've been under oath, explained it all, and I think it's really odd that when Governor Clinton gets in trouble with the draft, this old canard is resurrected after 5 years.
As the president rolled through the Midwest, strategists were urging him to take on his opponent in a face-to-face debate, something voters have confronted him with several times on this trip.